What's happening, my beautiful people? My name is Mike LaBelle. Welcome back to the YouTube channel. Today's video, highly requested, also kind of controversial. What would I change from FIFA 21 heading into FIFA 22? And we're going to be gameplay specific. If you want more of this, please like the video, and I can also put together some follow-ups if we're talking about different game modes and some of the progressions of those game modes, and really a deep dive into Ultimate Team, because you almost need to segment the discussion points. So today we are focused on gameplay improvements. That's the point that I'm making. And whether you agree or you disagree, use the comments, because there is a majority and there is a minority. And I know firsthand, and I'm gonna detail it, I fall into the minority category. That's just the reality. I've had to accept this. But without further ado, criteria, gameplay focused. What I want to change. I repeat, what Dirty Mike wants to change, what I want to see shift. And this is based on priority. I'm not gonna cover every fine particular where there could be a small improvement. This is what I want to see shifted ASAP. I'm gonna be realistic. Understood? These comments should get very spicy. Don't let me down. Tactical impact. I already know how to turn the lights off and on. I don't feel that FIFA, from a tactical standpoint, or even the instructions, whether it's done pre-game or on the fly, should resemble that type of activity. And it does. How many times have you gone up against an opponent who can go from being very defensive and passive to extremely aggressive, but it's not his manual movement or his adjustments that coordinate with the tactics. It's almost as if he's just switched between one of his setups, and now we got constant pressure. Everybody's double teaming on their own. They're bringing up the back line. Or you've got a box of a full 11. They're giving you the 10-piece with the extra sauce. You're not gonna break that down, but the point that I'm making is it should be less impactful or more manual requirements. The balance is not quite right. That's gonna be a key word anytime that I'm critiquing, because we're after balance between a simulation and an arcade or a video game, because you can't have just one. If it was only a simulation, I don't have 90 minutes to play every FIFA match with a bunch of slow buildup. That doesn't work. And at the same time, if you have nothing that resembles the sport, that's problematic, because we all got into playing FIFA via the actual sport. Assisted passing adjustments. And this is mainly a critique when it comes down to through balls. This has to be eliminated. I hate the premise and the concept. Let me detail, let me explain. You are defending often properly. Your anticipation, your steps, you're choosing to cut off the passing lane or the through ball. And in FIFA 21 in particular, the game will automatically redirect bad decision making or poor passes. Let me give you an example. I step into a passing lane. My opponent, he's already in his free flow, his motion, he's making that pass. However, the game automatically then adjusts and enforces that through ball into where the open space is. But that shouldn't happen. My opposition didn't do that. I made a proper interception. I made the proper read. I've got the novel. And you're basically punishing smart movement, defensive anticipation, micromanaging. And I've always said this, defending is where there's gonna be a skill gap. If your opposition can't move, can't progress, struggles, not only in the final third, but I'm talking in the midfield, I'm talking from the back. There is a reason that we have the cliche defense wins championships. It's true. And defense does not mean park the bus. You can swarm somebody. You can play mind games, a little bait and switch, step, go. We used to have a lot of inclusion with some of the manual secondary pressing that allowed you to eliminate or start to cut a lot of the angles with some of those double teams, those pressure plays. I would like assisted passing adjustments, if not completely removed, highly taken down. I'll be the FIFA heartbreak. A lot of you guys aren't as gifted as you think you are offensively. The game is hooking it up. You're getting plugged. Attacking, positioning, and support. Why is movement naturally so limited? We don't have enough of the overlap, the support, the triangles. This is also why high press and also the crowded box approach are so difficult to break down. You don't have the necessary support. Instead, you end up having to force a pass or play a hospital ball, and you hope that secondary bounce goes your direction. You get some sort of breakthrough. You're looking for the favor. Whether we have an arcadey title or a simulation, the IQ cannot be at a brick squad level. Yes, you should have to trigger runs, but at the same time, These are professional footballers, athletes. They didn't get to this level without understanding the game and the mechanics, the free form, the fluidity, how to be a team player, pass and move, tiki-taka, dummy runs. We need all of that. Organics, automated defending. I'm gonna keep this very transparent. I might upset some of you, or you're gonna have to take a look in the mirror or into your monitor, some sort of reflection. If you are watching and you are an elite level Foot Champs player, this is the reality. This is the situation. This is the scenario. You are in the minority, not the majority. When FIFA 21 was released, there was a massive skill gap due to the defensive movement and the difficulty with being able to micromanage, read scenarios, time your tackles. You couldn't rush without having a game plan. I went 29-1 in back-to-back weekends with an average team. That is not a flex. That is due to the separation that I was able to create on the defensive end. But then I started reading through Reddit. I'm scouring the internet and I found the answer. The interwebs had it covered for us. Topic on topic on topic. I'm constantly conceding. I can't defend. Who's got defensive tutorials? The defense needs an overhaul. My defenders are so poor. No, this is the truth. You need to get better at player movement. You need to get better at player switching, timing tackles, and game reading scenarios. And if you'd like to add micromanaging, many of you that fall into the minority have not mastered. Some of you don't even use the right analog stick to switch players, and you're complaining about defense. The bridge dribble, or whatever the next overpowered skill move is. We've seen this happen in multiple iterations. We want to date back to FIFA 19, the El Tornado, where people were using that as a form of flicking the ball into the air, whipping in crosses or hitting volleys. Also the La Croqueta, which was way overdone because not only was the skill overpowered, but the learning curve, it was too simple. If you recall the La Croqueta, you're just holding this and people are spamming left and right. You see 5, 6, 7 consecutive La Croquetas. It was ridiculous. This year with the bridge dribble, it's just far too random and too needed in order to force issues or attack space or punish the AI defending. You have to incorporate this into your game plan, whether it's this traditional bridge or the directional bridge. And I like the inclusion of the bridge, but it just needs to be brought down at least a couple levels. It's way too frequent and you can defend it what feels perfectly and still concede sometimes. And that's where that luck factor, or how an offensive player will take their momentum and steal it off the defender, makes this just way too effective. And last but not least, patches. I just want way less of them. Give us some time, because I'm telling you, when FIFA 21 first came out, I think it was one of the best FIFA installments we have ever seen. However, once we had that first patch, it was a slippery slope of patch on patch on patch. And with these updates, they never just change one aspect of the game. And sometimes we have very major patches, and there were just far too many. Let's make small tweaks, give us a longer period early on, because that first patch is so crucial for the future of the game development of that competitive year or that FIFA cycle. Let me know what you think. Use the comments. It's a great way to express your opinion. This video can get a lot of traction, and that feedback can be carried throughout the community if you agree or even if you disagree. I like to have an open line of discussion, and where our community, I feel, has a certain level of maturity, where it's not just yelling and screaming and cursing about everything that's wrong, and people actually want to provide constructive criticism and their opinion. It's a fantastic outlet for that. I upload daily, and I have a lot more content coming out ASAP. See you tomorrow.